Just there wasn't a whole lot of new stuff. Actually, I guess there is like somewhat significant news things. There was a release yesterday from I believe it was Activision Blizzard investor relations or something like that. They did. It's hard to describe. Like, I think I should just read off like some of the bullet points of what they're trying to do. But basically, they're trying to meet at least one, maybe two of the demands of the employees. One of them was some of them that aren't being met is transparency and equal pay, the end of arbitration. Those things aren't being met. But I'll just read off. I'll try to read off quickly what they are trying to do. And then I'll let you guys decide for yourself. The creation of an $18 million fund with any amounts not used for claimants divided between contributions to nonprofit organizations whose mission involves advancing women in the video game and tech sectors, or who promote awareness around sexual harassment and gender equality, and further investments in diversity and inclusion efforts at the company that go beyond what we agreed to in the EEOC. All as approved by the EEOC, which is the I want to read what EEOC stands for because I forgot. Equal opportunity. I forgot. I'm sorry. Anyway, next bullet point. The company will upgrade policies, practices, and training to prevent and eliminate harassment and discrimination in the workplace, including implementing an expanded performance review system with a new equal opportunity focus. That sounds like hot air to me. The company will engage a neutral third-party employment opportunity consultant, a non-employee who must be approved by the EEOC, who will provide ongoing oversight of the company's compliance with the agreement. This independent consultant's findings will be reported directly to the EEOC and Activision Blizzard's board of directors. And the company will hire an internal EEO coordinator with relevant experience in gender discrimination, harassment, and related retaliation to assist the company and the neutral third-party EEO consultant with implementation of the agreement's requirements. So one of the demands of the ABK folks is to have a third-party kind of regulate or dictate new policies and oversee its implementation to make sure that things are being compliant. So it sounds like that's what's being done here. I'm not very smart, though. I don't consider myself to be to have a very strong comprehension of exactly what's going on here. But with hesitance, I say that it's good because this is a third party. It's reporting directly to a government body and not just to, it's not someone that's hired inside of Blizzard or anything like that. It's something that hopefully the company will, that not the company will fear, but people inside will be like, oh, I gotta, get my shit together and all that. As for the $18 million fund, I guess that's their way of, okay, we're gonna settle because that's what usually happens, or that's just what happens. We don't expect, Bobby Kotick to be, brought out in handcuffs or anything like that. Anyone who was thinking that doesn't have a very good grasp of American law, unfortunately. Kind of a parallel here. PG&E is an electric company inside California that does pretty much all of the electricity stuff. PG&E is regularly under fire because I like how I said that, under fire, because they tend to be liable for some of the fires that happen in California during fire season. It's a very bad combination. You got power lines, the weather gets warm, people are using more power. Those lines can get overloaded, they make sparks, they cause fires. One story on this, and I don't have all the notes on me, so I might be inaccurate. I apologize in advance. One of the stories involves PG&E not contesting that because of their negligence over some power line, it caused a fire, and that fire caused several people to die. This company's negligence straight up killed people. Now, I remember there was a suicide that was related to the ABK lawsuit. So again, there's kind of a parallel. But over at PG&E, no one was arrested. No one is being, no one is being brought up in handcuffs. They're trying to. Lawyers and attorneys and whatnot for the families who were affected by this, they're trying to make it that way. And so the company itself, they're facing charges, and they have been found guilty. So, but the result of that is that you can't just arrest the company, right? But you're going to fine them, you're going to regulate them, you're going to do other things to rein that sort of thing in. But then there are going to be separate lawsuits from the families who are, who are looking for justice, who are trying to find an individual, someone to hang out to dry. So things like that are really, it's complicated. It's going to be complicated. It's going to be slow. It's not going to play out like a TV show or a video game where it's like, wow, here's our happy ending or here's our dramatic conclusion. It's not going to be dramatic. It's going to be boring. It's going to be dull. But hopefully it's still going to come out with a good result for the people who are most strongly affected. Goblin says it feels like a light slap. I hope the third party is picked by the government rather than the Blizzard. I believe it is picked by the EEOC. Let me double check that, because now you made me curious. Okay, the company will engage a neutral third party equal employment opportunity consultant, a non-employee who must be approved by the EEOC. So Blizzard might choose it. They need to give their go ahead. Unfortunately, this doesn't. It does. If we were to kind of like look deeper into the language, it's not approved by the employees. Know what I mean? So, but I would kind of question whether or not the average employee would be knowledgeable enough to have a strong opinion over it, because this is why unions are important, right? Because the union would have it in their best interest to choose the right thing, and then line level employees who really don't pay much attention to it, they'll just trust the union. In this case, not so much, and so it threatens to taint. At least it needs to be approved. So I guess we're counting on the government to step in. I wouldn't trust the government to. I wouldn't say that the government is out to get us, but not to say that the government will do its. Maybe I think its due diligence might be like the bare minimum.